Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Excel. In this module, I want to show you how you can do page layout, use headers and footers, and select certain sections of a spreadsheet to print off. So on the screen, I've got some data, but I need to sort of make this data a bit more than it is. So I'm just going to copy and paste some of it, not the titles. I'll just highlight this and just copy and paste that so I've got more than one page. So just selected Control C, copy, and then clicking on Control V, paste, and I'll do Control V, paste again, like so. So I should have more than one page of information. Well, I will have for definite. Now to print that off, the key command, so I can go File Print, but I can go Control P, which will get me into the same place. Control P will show me that data. Now it says there I've got 6 pages, so if I go through this, so there must be pages dropping off like that. Now I definitely don't want that, so what you can do is you can go into page setup down the bottom here, and I can either reduce the scale or I can go 1 page by 3 tall. Let's try that. You've got to be careful with this because sometimes it makes it too small, so click OK to that. I've now just got 3 pages, and if I just go through those pages, you can see that they're just there sitting like that. So this last page I want to be sitting in the middle, and I want the header and footer changing as well. So to do that, there's 2 ways to do it. I'll go through the page setup option first. Page setup, and we've just been in there. So margins, on the margins tab, you can tick these 2 boxes, which will make that last page sit in the middle, which is great. The header and footer though, what I say for the header will apply for the footer. You've got custom header, custom footer. I'm going to click on custom header. I'm going to get rid of that for a minute, so there's nothing in there. So in the left section, I'm going to type my first name. In the middle section, I'm going to put the date and time, which is this little calendar is the date. It'll say and date when you do it, and then and time, but when you click out of this, it'll give you the actual preview. And in the right section, I want the actual sheet name, which is that, and it'll say and tab, which is the code for that. If I click OK, you'll see the little preview there that I've just done. Look at the time there, and you've got the page 1 at the bottom. So I'm going to click OK to that. That's what I want. And then you see that move down, and you can see the header and footer like so. Now if I come back into my document, you can also get that sort of information, the header and footer, everything. If I go onto the View tab and select Page Layout View, not that one, Page Layout View, that one, you see the headers and footers there, and if you click into them, you get the same code. Now you get a tab on the ribbon with the same sort of features like that. If I click out of it, this is just like a Word document. Now you can just see how this sits like that. Now to get out of this, you need to go back to View and Normal. That brings it back to Normal View. If you click on Page Break View, this is telling you where the page breaks are. So let's say you wanted to just adjust this slightly, you could move that up, and then you've changed the page break, and then you go back to normal, and then that's adjusted that. We could have done that to bring in this column as well. We could have messed about with that. So those are all features that you've got on the View tab, and those 3 view points are also down the bottom right hand side down here, so you can do that as well. But you always need to get back to normal so you can see what you're doing. Now you'll notice once you do come back to normal, if you've been into those views, you now get the page breaks. You can see where everything is, which is great. I don't know why it didn't show you that to start off with, to be honest. Now I'll just make this a little bit bigger. What I want to do now is to go into page layout and look at some of the things you've got here. I want to just print this bit off. Now if I go set print area, so you've got print area here, so I'll click on that, and then set print area. When I do Control P to go back into print, it will only show me that little bit. And because I've got it set in the middle, it's in the middle, which is great. But I don't know what the column headings are. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell it to do the titles, print titles. when I click on that, it comes back into page setup. Now I couldn't come through print preview. If I just cancel this off for a minute, if I do Control P and come through print preview and then page setup there, go into that last sheet where we're just, you see it's all grayed out there. So you actually have to do it within the sheet itself. I'll cancel that, come back to it, come back to the sheet. So you have to do it from here. And what you're basically doing is you're telling it which rows to repeat at the top. So you click into this. So the titles and mine are on row 2. So I'm clicking on number 2 and it will put 2 with dollar signs like so. And then if I click OK to that and then do Control P for print, I now get the headers on there as well as it being centered horizontally and vertically. And if I come back again, I now want to clear that print. So where it says set print area, in there, you've got to clear that. And then if I do Control P, the titles are on that page. If I come down to the second page, they're on that page, and the middle page as well. So every page has got titles like so. There's a bit more detail on that last page now. It is centered though. You can see it there. And if I come back to that, back to our page hit there. So that's how you do set up your page layout for printing. Not many people print things off nowadays. A lot of people print things to PDF or save things to PDF. If I go File, Save As, when I go File, Save As, you will have the options in here to save this as a PDF. And then as a PDF, obviously, it's like all PDFs, you need the editor to edit it. There's PDF look, so that's the format. And that would open up in the web browser. So there's lots of different formats you can save this file into. I'm just going to go back into it there. Now, when we was doing this, I did a bit of copy and paste, and I just want to talk about copy and paste for a minute. So I'm just going to grab this information and do Control C for copy. And once you do copy in Excel, you got these little marching ants. That's a selection, and then I can paste it. Control V for paste. The marching ants are still there, so I can do Control V again, paste. But what I can't do, if I type, so I've typed, no, those marching ants aren't there. So if I do Control V, I don't get anything because I've got rid of it. I've got rid of the copy features. So that's slightly different to Word and things like that. So in Word you can paste as many times as you want, but in Excel, if you start typing or do certain things, it knocks those marching ants off, and then you can't paste again. You'd have to copy it again and paste it. So cutting's the same. If I did that and cut that with Control X, that would cut that and allow me to paste it over there, and then it's removed it. Now if I undo that, so I'm doing Control Z for undo. In Excel, you can move things like this. If I get my mouse, I've got that big cross. I'm holding my Control key down, and now I'm letting go of my mouse. If you look at my pointer, you can see there's a little plus on it. I've got the Control key down, I'm letting go of the mouse. So that hasn't moved it, it's copied it. So if I did that big black cross without the Control key, that actually just moves it. But if I use the Control key when I'm dragging it, Control key's down, little plus on the mouse, letting go of the mouse, keeping the Control key down, it will copy it. So it's just another way of copying. And I'm going to get rid of all of these now. Right clicking on that, deleting all of those bits and bobs out of the way. Now, to insert rows and columns, the quickest way to insert rows, let's say I want to insert a few rows there. I've highlighted a few rows, right clicking, insert, and then that will create those rows. And if I highlight them and right click and delete, it will delete them. And if I do the same with the columns, highlight 3 columns, right click, insert, it will insert columns. Highlight 3 columns, right click, delete, it will delete 3 columns or 1 column or whatever you highlight. Now if you don't highlight a column or a row and you go right click, insert, it doesn't really know what you want to do, so it gives you some options. So shift to the right, shift down, you can still do an entire row or a column, but I'm going to go for that one. Let's see what happens here. totally messing it up now. So now I have knocked things out of sequence, but you can do that if you want. There are some occasions where you might just want to move certain elements down, obviously not when it's part of a table like this. So I'm going to do undo, Control Z to bring that back. So that's all I want to talk about on this little video, how you can set your spreadsheet up to print out with headers and footers and select different areas and have the titles repeated, and also how to do copy and paste and insert rows and columns. So hopefully that little video was of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.